Welcome back. So it's kind of weird, I was feeling a little bit better, and now as the day's going along, my body's kind of tiring out, so some of the cold symptoms have started to come back just a little bit. So anyways, um, we had 7 games tonight in the NHL. Tomorrow we have none. Wednesday we have 14. Thursday, none because American Thanksgiving. And then Friday, 15 games. So it is a weird week. Friday's going to be a bizarre day. Long day for me. It's hockey all day again. So, yeah. Anyways, that being said, starting things off, we're going to talk about the Oilers and the Panthers. So the Oilers seem to be turning a corner a few games ago. The trip through Florida has not been successful. And yet there were moments in this game where it looked like it would be. So, it is Pickard versus Bobrovsky. There's a near miss for Bennett on a rush. Then there's a near miss for Foegele from the slot. Ekblad has a slot shot that's held. The Panthers press at 5.5 minutes. They had a post there, one post away from the lead, and then McDavid scores for the Oilers to give them the lead. He scores at 5:59 from Draisaitl and Bouchard. It's a one-timer from a sharp angle. So a goal scorer's goal, and McDavid seems to be coming out of whatever funk he's been in. So the Panthers press at 7 minutes, and at 9 minutes, it's the Oilers that go up 2-0. Evander Kane from Ryan and McLeod. So 2-0 for the Oilers at that point. We then get a power play for the Panthers, and they score on it. It is Verhaeghe from Reinhart and Montour at 10:35. So that 2-goal lead lasts a minute and 35 seconds. It's a good cycle. It's wired from the slot. We then get a power play for the Oilers. Becomes 12 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off, and then Mikkola scores from Stenlund at 15:53. It was a turnover, and he scores far corner. So that makes it 2-2, and then the Panthers press to close it out. So after the first period, 2-2 draw. Second period, early jump for Edmonton. The shots on net are 2 apiece at 3 minutes. Things get punchy on a hold by Pickard. Desharnais and Gadjevich ended up pairing off in that. Pretty good tilt. Lundell is then robbed in close. The dislikes amping up, so we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 while the other guys who just fought are still in the box. And then it's a penalty shot. McDavid scores low blocker at 5 minutes. So McDavid with 2 goals in this game, and suddenly it's a 3-2 lead for the Oilers. That lead does not last during the 4-on-4. So this right here is a 4-on-4 penalty shot goal, and then Mikkola scores from Verhaeghe at 6:08, still at 4-on-4, and this one went through Pickard. We get a power play for Florida after that. That's killed off, and then Stenlund scores from Luostarinen at 13:42, wires the rebound into the net. Suddenly, it is a 4-3 lead for the Florida Panthers, their first lead of the game. The Oilers press with 3.5 minutes left. The Panthers, though, they get a power play with 1:50 left, so that rolls into the third period where the Oilers finish the kill. The Oilers press at a minute and a half. Draisaitl's denied on a sharp angle. Things get pushy on a hold by Pickard. We get a power play for the Oilers. McDavid couldn't bury one in close. It's cleared out. It's killed off. Shots are 8-3 for Edmonton at the half. The Oilers will go back to the power play. That's killed off as well. The Oilers pull the goaltender with 2 minutes left. With 1:30 left, they call a timeout. Bennett would miss the empty net the first time. He hits it the second opportunity from Stenlund at 19:16 to give your insurance goal to the Florida Panthers. They win 5-3. They go to 12-5-1. Their record's really good. The Oilers drop to 5-11-1. So the Oilers are back to 6 games below 500. Again, maybe it wasn't Woodcroft. Anyways, shots on net, 12-7 Florida in the first, 13-11 Florida in the second, 10-7 Edmonton in the third. Final shots 32-28 in favor of Florida. Power plays, Edmonton 0-3, Florida 1-4. Hits 22-17 Florida. Pickard saved 27 out of 31. Bobrovsky 25 saves on 28 shots at the other end. All right, next up. Boston and Tampa. Man, Boston frustrated me tonight. Boston frustrated me because they had no business having a lead in this game at all, and yet they did at one point, and they didn't hold it. So, it's Swayman versus Johansson. Bruins press are kept to the outside. Things get pushy on a hold by Swayman. These teams don't like each other. I talked about that in the preview. So, Perbix has a screenshot that saved. The shots are 4-0 Tampa, 3.5 minutes in. Kucherov has a rush chance that's caught and held. Things get pushy on a hold by Johansson. And then Jeannot buries one on a net drive from Mott and Eyssimont at 6:39. That line's been going pretty well for them lately. Then there's a post for Zaka on a breakaway. Eyssimont has a chance that's held. Again, some pushing there. The Bolts press at 9 minutes, but at 9:55 on a nice pass by Pasternak, Zaka scores. Pasternak and Marchand with the assists. It's a 1-1 tie. The Bolts go to the power play. There's a shorthanded chance for Carlo that's held. They do kill that power play off. Bruins press with 4 minutes left. With 2:05 left, the Bruins get a power play. That's killed off. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period, Van Riemsdyk has a screenshot. That's saved. Kucherov then had a rush chance. That was blocked. Marchand can't bury one on a net drive. We get a power play for Boston. A shorthanded rush by Hagel makes it a 4-on-4 for 58 seconds. Then we get 30 seconds of a 4-on-3 power play for Tampa as the parade is on. Everything gets killed off there, and the Bruins press after it's done. 9.5 minutes into the period, the shots are 7-2 for Boston. Teams exchange rushes at the half. The Bolts press with 7.5 minutes left. Marchand has a net drive. That's blocked. Hagel's denied on a rush with 1:31 left. The Bolts get a power play, and Tampa had a lot of power play opportunities tonight. Hagel's robbed, Swayman holds, but then Paul tips one out of the air into the net from Stamkos and Sergachev at 19:30. So after the second period, it's 2-1 for Tampa. And I'll say it, they deserved the lead. I thought they were outplaying Boston, which would continue in the third. Kucherov has a rush chance, that's blocked. Asamont's denied on a 2-on-1. The Bolts press at 5 minutes, and Boston's kind of pinned down until they get their first shot and it goes in the net. Pasternak from Lowry and McAvoy at 6:24. And then, on what I think was their second shot of the period, Beecher scores from Heinen and Carlo at 7:47. He buries that one from the high slot on a turnover. Boston suddenly has a 3-2 lead. Kind of out of nowhere. But Watson gets that back less than a minute later at 8:43 from Cirelli and Perbix. And then Tampa Bay gets a power play, which Boston does kill off. Now, at 16:09, Boston, they get the lead back. Coyle scores at 16:09. It's a one-timer and close. But then with 2:20 left, Boston takes a penalty. So Tampa Bay makes it a 6-on-4. They pull the goalie. That was killed off, but then the Bruins, they had a couple of opportunities to clear it. They don't, and they pay for it. Stamkos scores from Kucherov and Hagel at 19:55. And then in the overtime, the Bolts control early. Boston didn't really get the puck at 1:19. Hagel scores on a rush from Hedman and Point. Tampa Bay wins. Big one here. They win 5-4 in overtime. They go to 9-6-4. Boston drops to 13-1-3. So Boston still just has one regulation loss thus far this year, but this is 2 points that got away. Not that they deserve them. Looking at the shots, 19-12 Tampa in the first, 12-10 Tampa in the second, 14-4 Tampa in the third, and they had the only shot of the overtime. Final shots, 46-26 for Tampa. Power plays, Boston 0-2, Tampa Bay 1-6. Hits were 25-17 for Tampa. Swayman saves 41 out of 46. He did everything he could. Johansson saves 22 out of 26 at the other end. So, yeah, Boston could have had 2 points, and I could have swept the board because we're going to talk about the Rangers and the Stars. So Dallas had a 3-0 lead, and they lost 6-3. Tonight, they decided, we'll just start slow. So it's Shesterkin versus Wedgwood. Cooley has a rush chance that's defended. The shots on net are 3-2 Dallas, 5 minutes in. Rangers press at 6.5 minutes. Lafreniere's then denied on a fast break opportunity he had. Johnston has a turnover chance. That gets blocked. We get a power play for the Rangers. Back-to-back early clears by Dallas, and they do kill that off. Stars then get a power play. That was killed as well. 3:58 left. The Rangers get their second power play. You can't give them multiple power plays in the same period. They will score, and they do. Trocheck from Kreider and Gustafsson at 16:25. He buries a wraparound. It's 1-0 Rangers. Rangers look for another, and they press in the final minute as well, but it's only 1-0 after the first, which I thought Dallas was kind of fortunate it was only 1-0 because the Rangers were all over them. Second period. Johnston has a slot shot. That goes wide. The shots are 4-1 Dallas, 4 minutes in. Heiskanen fires one wide as Dallas presses. There's a toe save on Duchesne and close. Johnston has a net feed picked off. Steele has a shot kicked aside. The Stars press. They're kept to the outside, and then the Rangers score again. Kakko with his second of the season from Bonino and Trouba at 13:38. But then it kind of clicks for Dallas. So less than a minute later, about a half a minute later actually, at 14:23, Ben on a 3-on-2 rush, he buries one. Pavelski and Hintz with the assist there. So suddenly it's 2-1 now. Still in favor of the Rangers, but it's 2-1. Stars press for the tie. We get more pressure by Dallas with 2 minutes left. Gustafsson then has a shot in the final minute that deflects out. After the second period, it's 2-1 Rangers. Third period, Kreider's denied on the opening shift, and I thought that was a huge save there by Wedgwood. Heiskanen fires one wide then, and then it is a rebound that gets buried by Pavelski. Heiskanen hits with the assists at 1 minute, so suddenly it's a tie game. Zibanejad has a rush chance, that's held. Trouba's denied, the Rangers press. We get a power play for Dallas. There's an early clear, and then the Stars score. It's ruled goalie interference, and Marchment's reaction is epic. He is standing next to the ref when the referee waves it off. It says no goal, and he's like, what? So Igor didn't have the puck. All he does is make sure that puck goes in the net. And the review says good goal. So Marchment basically knocks a loose puck into the net. It counts. Johnston and Duchesne with the assists at 7:06. So it's a good thing that Dallas challenged that call. Then the Stars score, and the Rangers say, all right, we're going to challenge for goalie interference as well. So what's interesting is Dallas challenges and gets a goal. And in this case, the Rangers challenge to get a goal taken off, and it counts. Why? Well, Igor swept it in himself. So as soon as Igor put it in the net himself, I was like, I don't know how you can rule goalie interference when the goalie put it in his own net. So it counts, and so, yeah. Sagan scores that one from Marchment at 8:24. So Mason Marchment around the net on both of those goals. And so the Stars come out of that with a power play. It is killed off. Then with 7:21 left, the Rangers get a power play. That was killed as well. The Rangers get some pressure after. With 4:06 left, they get another power play, and they make it a 6-on-4. So you get the rare shorthanded empty netters. First it's Steele at 16:28. They pull the goalie again. I have to pause before I cough. But then they pull the goalie again, and Hintz scores from Sagan at 17:04. The Stars then finish the kill. But then in the final minute with like 15 seconds left at 19:44, Goudreau just had to bury it to make it a 6-3 score. Schneider and Trouba with the assists. So your final is 6-3. Dallas goes to 12-4-1. Nice bounce back victory. The Rangers lose their first game in a while. They're 12-3-1. Shots on net, 16-7 Rangers in the first, 10-7 Dallas in the second, and then 19-10 Dallas in the third. The final shots, 36-33 for Dallas. Power plays, Rangers 1 for 4, Dallas 1 for 3. The hits were 11-10 Dallas. Shesterkin saves 30 out of 34. Wedgwood saved 30 out of 33. So very evenly played game at points. But yeah, Rangers really control the first. The third period was really the Dallas period. And yeah, so solid appearance by them. All right, next up, last one on this board is Colorado and the Nashville Predators. So this one really surprised me, and I haven't worn Nashville for a review, so here we are. It's Georgiev versus Saros. There's a glove save on a Tatar rush. We get a power play for the Abs. That's killed off. The shots are 3-0 Colorado 4 minutes in, so they had a very good start. There's a press by Nashville. They're kept to the outside. They press again halfway through the period. Despite the zone time, though, Nashville stuck on 2 shots for a while. They would eventually get that third shot, but yeah, they were getting zone time, just not able to get to the net. McKinnon has a shot that's held. There's some pushing. We then get a power play for Nashville, and a puck deflects to Cogliano, and he buries a shorthanded goal. So he gets the shorthanded goal from Nichushkin and Makar at 14 minutes. Then we get 54 seconds of 4-on-4, followed by the Preds with a 4-on-3 power play. And then it becomes 18 seconds of a 4-on-4. Lots of penalties. Everything gets killed off. Good thing. I think they got all the penalties out of the way in the first. Most of them anyways. And then Forsberg in the closing seconds at 19:41. He scores from Glass and Tomasino during a delayed penalty. So it would have been another power play, but that goal wipes that out. So it's 1-1 after 1. Second period, the Avs press are kept to the outside. Nashville presses at 3 minutes, and eventually they score. At 3:55, it's Lauzon. From Nyquist and O'Reilly, it's top shelf through a screen, so Georgiev didn't see it. Avs press at 6 minutes. Eventually they tie it up. Taves scores from McKinnon and Makar at 8:55, and it was a good press by the Avs that led to that goal. Power play for Nashville, that's killed off. The Avs then go to the power play, and this is a power play goal. I didn't label it as such. Nichushkin from Makar at 13:31. He just tips it in front of the net. So not much chance there for Saros, and that gives Colorado a 3-2 lead. McKinnon then has a shot that's caught and held. 2:02 left. The Avs get a power play. That's killed off. We're going to the third period. Early jump for Colorado. The teams then trade rushes. Tomasino has a shot that's caught and held. Things get pushy on a hold by Georgiev. Forsberg's denied and close. They press. There's a press by Nashville at 8 minutes. Yossi's denied. Glass then fires the rebound wide. Power play for Nashville. There's a near miss by Sherwood. That's killed off. So the goalie pull happens with 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and Forsberg buries a rebound from Sissons to tie it up at 19:22. So you get ready for overtime. I did, and I was wrong. Trennan scores from Cole Smith at 19:38. It's a turnover. It's buried. Nashville with the shocking comeback victory over Colorado. Colorado drops to 11-6, whereas Nashville improves their record to 7-10 on the season, so 3 games below 500. Shots on net: 10-8 Nashville in the first, 14-6 Colorado in the second, 14-6 Nashville in the third. Final shots: 30-28 for the Preds. Power plays: Colorado 1 for 4, Nashville 0 for 4. The hits: 29-22 in favor of Nashville. Georgiev saves 26 out of 30, and Saros saved 25 out of 28. So entertaining finish to that one, and now I need to change boards. All right, so Kings and the Coyotes. So the Coyotes starting to have some struggles. Similar to what we're seeing going on with the Ducks, and it's a matter of, can they pull out of this? We'll see. So it's Copley versus Ingram. We get a power play for the Coyotes, and it's a shorthanded goal. It's Trevor Moore, who again has been quite good on the road. I mentioned that in the preview this morning. He scores from Dano at 3:35. The Kings then finish the kill. The shots on net are 6-4 for the Coyotes 7.5 minutes in. But at 8:19, Kopitar scores from Byfield. So suddenly, it's 2-0 for the Kings. Coyotes press with 8.5 minutes left. The Kings draw a power play. Moore fires one wide. They cycle. That's killed off. Coyotes press with 4 minutes left. There's a post then for LaFerriere. England had a fight with Josh Brown. Josh Brown gets the indicator, so he's off the ice for 17 minutes. There's a shorthanded break for Krause. He fires wide. There were 2 breaks during that period for Arizona. They fired wide on both. And so that power play is killed off. So 2-0 LA after 1. Second period, there's a shoulder save on Carconi by Copley, who had his best game of the season thus far. Krause has a shot that's held. It draws an Arizona power play. Early clear by the Kings. Dursey has a shot that's blocked. It's cleared. It's killed off. Shots are 4-0 Arizona 7 minutes in. Coyotes go back to the power play. That's killed off. And I wanted to make a note of how strong the forechecking was for the Kings, too, in this second period. The back checking was pretty good, too. Just that puck pressure. Coyotes weren't getting prime chances. And then there's a turnover, and Moore wires one from in close at 15:31. So sloppy defensive play by the Coyotes leads to a goal for the Kings. Kings press with 3.5 minutes left, but Michelli would get one on the board. He scores from Krause and Bukestad at 18:55, and then the Coyotes press to close it out. So they're down by 2 going into the third. Can they come back? Do you really want the spoiler? Oh, it's at the top of the board. Early press by the Coyotes. There's a post for Dubois and a rebound. I've actually had people say, why don't you just not have the score at the top of the board after? Because people still generally know what happened in the games, and you can count the goal magnets, so it wouldn't matter. But yeah, there's a post for Dubois and a rebound. Teams exchange rushes. The Kings press at 2.5 minutes. They end up drawing a power play. There's an early clear. It's killed off, but the Coyotes end up with too many men on the ice after. So Moore has a shot that's held. Then we get 33 seconds of 4-on-4, and it's a 4-minute penalty on the Kings. So Keller's a blasted save. Bukestad has a shot that's held. The Kings kill that off. And then Dano wires one over Ingram's glove from LaFerriere and Roy at 16:15. I did hear the announcer in the building saying LaFerriere and Roy, and I thought, both of those are being pronounced wrong. Is that on purpose? Anyways, with 1:10 left, the Coyotes get the power play, so they close the game on the power play. They do not score. Your final score is 4-1. The Kings go to 11-3-3. They're 8-0 on the road, so they're lethal on the road. Arizona 8-8-2 have to be frustrated with the way things are going at this stage. Shots on net: 12-8 LA in the first, 9-2 Arizona in the second, and then 14-11 Arizona in the third. Final shots: 31-25 for the Coyotes. Power plays: 0 for 4 for LA, 0 for 6 for the Coyotes. Hits: 19-17 Arizona. Copley saves 30 out of 31. Like I said, really strong start from Copley. A lot of highlight reel saves in that third period especially. And Ingram, 21 saves on 25 shots at the other end. All right, Calgary and Seattle. I'm going to get through this because I don't have to do a review tomorrow, so I'll just get my sleep tonight. And tomorrow will be some fun videos. Anyways, Calgary and Seattle. So at points in time, I don't think Calgary fans were necessarily having much fun. Calgary came into this one 5-0 all-time in Seattle. It's one of those weird things. It's Vladar versus Grubauer, and on their first shot, Calgary scores. It's Lindholm. From Anderson and Uyghur at 1:16, and 4 minutes in, the shots are 2-1 Calgary. So really good, strong start for them on the road. There was a post for Yamamoto on a rush. Lindholm has a turnover chance that's blocked, and then on a face-off win, Dunn scores to tie the game from Wenberg at 8:42. We then get a power play for Calgary, and they score on it. At 11:40, it's Huberdeau from Anderson and Kadri. The Kraken would press with 2.5 minutes left, but after the first period, it's 2-1 Calgary. Second period, Decord is in. Grubauer got kind of shaken up at the end of that period. Something was bugging him. He wasn't on the bench to start the second period. He would eventually be on the bench as the backup. But, yeah, Decord was in the rest of the way. McCann fires one wide on a rush. Larson has a blast that's held. The shots are 3-2 Calgary 5 minutes in. We get a power play for Seattle. Beniers has a shot that's blocked and cleared. The Flames really prevented a setup from there. Power plays killed off. 2 shots on net. Beniers was robbed right after, so not a power play chance, but pretty good chance there. And then Eberle, 5-hole during a good press, ties the game. Dunn and Gord with the assists at 8:21. Kraken press for the lead, and they get it. It is McCann from Larson at 10:25. Larson with the point shot. It deflects in off McCann, as well as in off of Vladar's helmet, I do believe. So that makes it a 3-2 score for Seattle. Flames at this stage aren't getting sustained zone time in the Seattle's end either. Schultz has a screenshot that's saved and cleared with 3:29 left. Zadorov takes his second penalty, so that's killed off as well. But yeah, Zadorov, kind of a rough time for him right now. Gord is then denied in the final minute because, of course, he asked for a trade. Now it's got to be awkward. But yeah, it's 3-2 Seattle after 2. Third period. Good early back and forth. This is right around where they showed the graphic of blown leads this year, and Seattle has 9. At least they had 9. They were right behind the Islanders that have 10, so leading the league in something you don't want to. The Flames press at 2.5 minutes. The shots are 3-0 Calgary, 4 minutes in. Kraken have a 3-on-2 that fizzles. Lindholm has a net drive that's blocked. The Flames press. They're not getting to the net. The shots are 6-1 Calgary at the half. Hanifin then has a shot that's held as the Flames press, and they start getting through that defense. We get a power play for Calgary. Kadri fires one high. They cycle. It's killed off. Sharon Govich then has a one-timer that's held shortly thereafter. But at 15:52, it's goal number 100 for Andrew Mangiapane from Hanifin and Tanev. Kadri then had an end-to-end opportunity that was saved. We're going to overtime. In the overtime, Seattle controls early. Anderson then gets the puck from, I think it was Backlund that stole it, gets it to Anderson. Anderson's denied. So Seattle gets the puck back. Beniers goes beast mode, but the Flames break that up. Dunn's denied. The Flames take over. And then Anderson scores from Backlund and Huberdeau at 3:28. So your final score is 4-3 in overtime for the Flames. They go to 7-8-3 with the victory. And for the Kraken, 7-8-5 with the overtime loss. Be really glad when this cold's gone. But yeah, 4-3 win. And for Seattle now, they have 5 overtime loss points, which is the same as the Islanders. And now they've blown 10 leads. So the shots on net favored Seattle 10-7 in the first and 17-6 in the second. And then Calgary takes over 16-3 in the third period, and then 2-1 in overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots are 31-31. Power plays, Calgary 1 for 2, Seattle 0 for 2. The hits 19-16 Calgary. Vladar saved 28 out of 31. He was very good. Grubauer saved 5 out of 7 in the first, and then Decord saved 22 out of 24 the rest of the way. So frustrating loss for the Kraken. Big win for Calgary as they get closer to that 500 mark. And with Arizona falling off and with Anaheim looking like maybe they're running out of gas, maybe Calgary's the team that's going to jump in and get that spot in the West. Because while I would have expected Edmonton to be the one to go on a run, we already discussed Edmonton right now, not on a run. Not in the right direction anyways. All right, last game of the night and last game for 2 days. Well, tomorrow and then, it's 2 days. Anyways, so it's San Jose and Vancouver. And I was very, very concerned about the trap. Now, because, it's a trap game. Prince Harry came out to drop the puck, although I don't think he's a prince anymore. With all the drama that went on there with the Royals. But you know what? Him and Meghan Markle in attendance. Oh, that was nice. I did. That was nice. And it wasn't spoiled by anybody. Nobody knew they were going to be there. Did they show them a lot during the game? Well, yeah, because it's Harry and Meghan. So I would expect them to be shown a lot during the game. So it's Blackwood versus Demko. It was kind of a quiet start. The only shot on net was by Vancouver through the first 3 minutes. Zetterlund fires one wide from the slot. The Canucks draw a power play. Besser has a one-timer that's held. That's killed off. Miller has a net drive. That's defended. The Canucks press at 8 minutes. Halfway through the period, the shots are 8-1 in favor of Vancouver. Besser has a shot that's blocked as the Canucks press. Besser to Miller. Near miss there. And Ferraro with a near miss in the final minute. So after the first period, it's scoreless. And that, of course, should make fans a little bit nervous. Just a little bit. Second period. Zadina has a shot that nearly fools Demko early on. Friedman then has the slot shot held as the Canucks press. Much better start for the Sharks, though. Shots are 4-3 Canucks through 5.5 minutes, which is way better than the only one shot San Jose had at the half in the first. There's a crossbar for Beauvillier on a 2-on-1. Easy for me to say. Sharks are keeping it simple. Best way to put this is there's no fancy hockey with the Sharks. They get into passing lanes, and they do everything they can to shut the other team down. The creativity, that star power, they don't have that, and they know that. And this is why the scores in their games have been getting closer. They're not necessarily winning, but they're getting closer. So, Sharks score, but there's a goalie interference call, and yep, no goal. That one comes off. So teams I cheer for tonight, perfect when it comes to goalie interference challenges. And then it's a post and in for Hughes from a sharp angle. Höglander and Beauvillier with the assist at 13:06. So Quinn Hughes is now sitting at 30 points in 19 games. That was point number 29. But I want to say this while I'm thinking of it. Bobby Orr had 30 points in less than 20 games 5 times. Al McInnes did it once. That's it. Now, Makar at some point in time is probably going to do it. But Quinn Hughes right now, pretty impressive to have 30 points in 19 games. So, Sharks look for an answer, and it was a beautiful goal. Like, it was from an impossible angle, and he roofs it. I still don't know how that one went in there. We get a power play for San Jose. There's a shorthanded Joshua chance. That deflects high. Power play's killed off. 3 shots for the Canucks on that. Crossbar for Kuzmenko, and then with 1:29 left, the Sharks get a power play, and it's 5 minutes. It was a slew foot by Höglander, and it was intent to injure, so the intent to injure is called, and I'm not going to argue with that. Can't. But Vancouver gets the buzzer beater shorthanded. It's Lafferty from Bluger at 19:59, so Teddy Bluger with his first point as a Canuck. Good on him. And it's 2-0 Vancouver after the first, or after the second, I should say. But early in the third, Hurdle buries a rebound from Addison and Granlund at 48 seconds. So remember, it's a major, so it's still going on. Zadina hits the side of the net. It's cleared out. There's a shorthanded rush by Pedersen that ends it. But Pedersen, going to the bench, realizes there's too many Sharks on the ice, and he starts yelling and pointing. And I guess the officials realized he was right. So they blow the whistle. There's too many Sharks on the ice. So good eye from Pedersen. He may have a career as an official after this is all done. So, because there's 2 linesmen that are supposed to be watching that. Nothing. So, yeah. Canucks with the power play. There's a shorthanded rush by Hurdle. That power play is killed off. Beauvillier's denied. Blackwood holds. But then Miller with a nice burial on a rebound. He scores from Besser and Hughes at 7:10. And then they showed Meghan Markle dancing to the goal song of the Canucks. I don't know how she's dancing to it. I even mentioned when we were at the game against the Islanders, I'm like, this isn't really a danceable song, but Megan proved I was wrong. And that will be shown on highlight reels everywhere NHL related, probably for the rest of the season. Because when somebody who's considered to be a celebrity, and in this case former royalty, as I'm pretty sure she's now former royalty. I haven't done a video on the entertainment guy on that, but I can. But at any rate, yeah, that's if you're thinking, well, why? They're going to show it. They're going to show it. She'll be in there with Snoop Dogg and Will Ferrell and whoever else. Ferraro's then denied and close. The goalie pull happens with 2.5 minutes left, but the Canucks end up with a power play with 1:28 left. What I loved about that was Hoffman clearly high sticks Hronek in the face the whole way to the box. Wasn't me. Nope. And he was sitting in the box like, nope. Even though you could see the replay and they would have shown it on the big screen, he's like, nope. I admire his stick-to-itiveness and his deniability on that. Most players in that situation would just hold their heads down and go, yeah, I sticked him. Not Hoffman. So that closes out the game. Your final score in this one's 3-1 Vancouver. They go to 13-5-1 with the win. San Jose 3-14-1 with the loss. So 3 wins in 18 games. Are on pace for about 12 wins this year. I think they'll get more than that. Anyways, shots on net in this one favored Vancouver the whole way. 11-6 in the first, 13-10 in the second, 16-12 in the third. Final shots 40-28 for Vancouver. Power plays, San Jose 1 for 3, Vancouver 0 for 3. Hits 23-15 San Jose. Special teams are becoming a concern for the Canucks. Blackwood 37 saves on 40 shots. He was great. Demko was as well. 27 saves on 28 shots. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And remember, no hockey tomorrow. Hockey on Wednesday is very busy, and I'll do my best to track it as well as I can. Thanks again for all your support. I will talk to you again soon. And remember, if you don't hit like and subscribe, I know, and it depresses me and it ruins my night. So don't do that. I'll talk to you again soon.